Hello, everyone. This is BizChicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today we are here with Coach Caren Fern, all the way from Toronto, Canada. She is in the house, and we're excited. We hope that you have your pencils and pens ready because you know Coach Caren always has something of value to offer to us. So, with that, I'm going to introduce to some, introduce to others, Coach Caren Fern, our money mindset coach. So you can get your mind on your money and your money on your mind and get it straight. Okay. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Coach, and I hope you're ready because she is going to bless us. Hi, Coach. How you doing this morning?
I am fantastic, excited to present as usual. All this month we've been talking about the last quarter. So we started off with what are you starting your plans for 2023? We talked about what you want to accomplish and stuff. What have you accomplished this year? And following week we talked about what do you want to happen differently for 2023? And then last week, was I on last week? Yes, last week we talked about that because we skipped a week. I think that's what it was.
Yes, we did.
Yes. And then, so this week we're continuing the planning processes, and we're going to fully now look into, now I can close that section, and we're going to fully look into today is what does a full year looks like at a glance. We're going to talk about how do I go about breaking down the monthly, and we're going to talk about when do I work and study, like I'm saying but when do you work and first study? Because sometimes one of the things I have to realize for myself, once you're in business, actually, even if you have a job, you continue studying whether you understand it, whether you're in a classroom or not, and Correct. You're studying something or another. So why not plan it within your day, your work day? And so that's why I love 2 hours or hour, whatever you can spare for the full business owner. They should probably spend an hour or two a day studying something and build it into the work. So if your work day is 8 hours now, if you get into the 8 hour point, then you should be working like 6 hours and really studying for 2. And that 2 hour can be some kind of a research, or maybe just sharpening your skill in an area that you feel that you need to sharpen it in. Okay. Sometimes people get mixed up and think that, well, I could do this already and I've delegated, so I don't need to. But you need to sharpen it alongside the person who's doing it for you, at least to know the bare bones of it, to understand what's happening in there. So you can ask really great questions of them. and delegate them to do better things. And also it helps you spot when they're rising and doing better, and maybe if your company is big enough, you can move them to different spots in the company that they'll even shine more. Because anybody that is working for you want to see that you're seeing what they're doing. I mean, if you're a small business owner, you got the time to really look around and see what people are doing. If you tell me you can't, is that you're not paying attention to them. And you got to pay attention to your employees if you have some, and your clients as well. It's not only your clients. You're going to want to look after those people who is looking after you. Now, if it's you alone.
I like the way you put that. Look after people that are looking after you. Yeah.
Yes. I used to say, and I still say it, I say all my peeps, even people that don't work for me anymore can still call me. They still do. And if it's something they want to chit chat about, because I've had people left and came back for work because of whatever circumstances was, sickness or something else. And they came back, and when I had work, I gifted it to them because they were good employees, and just life took them a different way. So if you're an employee right now and you have your business and you're doing this big planning, I hear you. So I know you got work, I know you got a business, but you're still going to carve out. Just like how you carve out like a 30 minutes to read, then a 30 minutes to read, and then maybe another 30 minutes to do some studying or study on the thing you're reading. Because somebody took time to write a book, they spend a lot of time, you getting their life's work in that book. Some portion of it is them in the book. They only don't write about people. They put themselves in there. So they pass through the processes. So you want to look at that, I love the book, Automatic Habits.
Automatic Millionaire?
No. This is I gifted it to myself. I usually have a running book list. That people that's in my office. So when my kids want to give me a gift and they don't know what, they can go on the book list and see what I'm looking to read, and then they just buy it for me.
Nice.
Yeah. So Nearly every Christmas, I get at least 4 to 6 books for
Good.
my kids or somebody. So this is a pretty good book. You can see it, it's shining.
Automatic habits. Ah.
Yes, it's a really good book. It's a good read. I mean, there's things that we know already that's in here. James Clear really good, and he explains it really well. Also, if you go on YouTube, but it just showing you the grim and grind and persevering through what it is that you want to do. Business is not easy, but it gets easier when you put these things in place.
Mm.
And you really need to do them. Don't look for everything outside. Look what's inside of you and work on that so that the blessing that's coming from outside is just matching what's happening inside. This is why they say when you're ready, the teacher will appear, because you have to get yourself ready to come into it. I've got a program going to start in February next year, for instance. For the people who's going to join that program, I'm going to tell you the price right now. It's $3,500. And for the people who's going to join that program, who get themselves ready, is going to come in and have really great results. It's a 4-month program, but you'll be with me for the full year to go back in, tweak, and do whatever needs to be done for the business. And for the people who come in ready, it's going to do really well. But the people who is wanting to do it with all their might, but is not getting themselves ready, when they come to a program, it's hard to take the program. Even for myself, I look at programs, it's not only about the price, but it's usually the time. What time do I have to dedicate to this program to get the best bet out of it? And how I'm structuring mine is telling people the time they'll need to dedicate and what it's going to take to get them through to the end. But the result's going to be crazy good because they'll take the time if they did, want to give up that time to be able to work through it. So, all right. So you really need to understand those things about I started at the bottom, You really need to understand. And you need to set in so I got work, study, and play. You need all three. You really need all three. Don't just do one or the other. You need to work, you need to study, you need to play. You need to find some outlet. If you're a movie buff like I am, movies are my go-to. I miss my badminton, but I have to figure out where to get back to my badminton. I miss that. Dance, I also want to get back there, but that would be next year. So I'm starting to figure out and put it in the planner for next year. Dance and badminton is the two I want to re-enter. I'm gonna have to look for studio, get in there, and it makes me happy. I've got something I'm looking forward to.
Something that is so important. I think sometimes we are so busy working the business or working on a job or working in the home that we forget to stop, celebrate, play, enjoy all the benefits of our labor.
Yes. I mean, I tell people when you're in the grind and you're starting out, your business probably needs, if you're going in full time, about 12 hours and 16 when you dilly-dally. But honestly, you just need 12 hours a day in your business. And then your job is to really understand where the business goes and systemize it so you can move it down to 10, then 8, then 6. The ultimate goal for me to help business owners is to get their business down to 4 hours of real focused business work. Everything else is just the beginning. It's hard and it's hard and there's a lot, but it doesn't have to continue that way. But what happened in our brains is we keep thinking that I gotta grind. Everybody's busy. Everybody's doing. No, I'm a slow and steady build a race kind of gal. I'm no galloper. Really, when I look back at myself, was telling a friend of mine, I said, I realize I'm not a galloper. This is why when I feel hurried up or people are like, you got to do this fast, I just shut down because I'm not a galloper. Still, I'm successful because I know that if I want to do something new and I don't know it, it's going to take me 4 times to learn it than what you told me. So if you say it's 5 minutes, it's 20 minutes for me. And I'm allowing the 20 minutes and not fretting about it because I don't know the stuff. And that's what you have to do with your business. You got to see it as I need 4 times whatever I think it needs to accomplish this task. So if somebody says to you in an hour, I can schedule a whole bunch of social media posts, you can't do it. They could do it. You can't do it. They could do it in 30 minutes. Here's why. They have a strategy. They have templates. They have systemized it. I can get in there on a Sunday. I'm not a 30 minutes girl. I'll probably take 4 hours and I can schedule for 4 weeks. I literally could take a Sunday and schedule all my stuff for 4 weeks. But here's why. I've been planning the month before the content I want to do. I've been researching it. I've been looking at my topic, and I've been either photographing pictures, something to go along with it. So there's a strategy behind it. So when I get into Canva and I'm setting things up and I'm ready to post, I have written things already. I've got a catalogs of A to right now. I don't think I hit Z, but A to you, that things that I go in and pull from that I can post consistently because I'm always writing. So I'm going to take a shorter time. But if you haven't done it, it's probably going to take you a week to two. Plan your YouTube channel if that's what you want to do. Plan your TikToks if that's what you want to do. There's no, unless you just don't care what you post or you're testing. Otherwise, you're going to want to plan this out. This is why we're planning now, right? To get that thing. And then you want to look at your whole year and then say, hey, is this too much for my year? Do I need to take this into a 2-year span? Or is it too little bit and I can do double this year? When you do those sort of planning and you set those things up, you're going into your year knowing that you can do it. You're leaving room for the unexpected also. You're giving yourself a chance to win. Most of us is not giving ourselves a chance to win. We get overwhelmed and cumbersome. If you're going to take a day off, stop whining about what you don't get to do. Just take the day off. If you need to clean your house, and some people can do it in a day, clean, and it takes 2 days. Clean your house in 2 days. Don't try to do it in a day. Clean it in 2 days. Once you understand what that's taken away from you, either business, work, or family, start budgeting to hire a cleaner because eventually you can pass it on. Maybe right now you can't. But if you start structuring things and expecting your money to shift, then there becomes room for you to hire a cleaner. Then you can see how you might hire other people for your business. But that's because you sat down and you plan it out. You walk through. So I want to share a screen before I go any further because I really want to walk you guys through some visuals. Because I promised it last week. I want to walk you guys through some visuals because when this is not a heavy going thing, but it's about 3 pages, and I'm gonna talk you guys through it and why. Right. So I'm doing like a whole business of mine. And next week I probably even gonna do a client reach out to me. She's been with me for 3 years, not right through. She's been with me. She's taken a break, and then she came back. She took another break. Right now we're on break, but the business is doing so great. Because she needed a break, she needed to go shift, she needed to go and get over the hump of things that she was having a tough time having me be straight with her and say, hey, the only reason you don't have this chunk of money, we are ponging you, like we were banging this door was to get her through this number, okay? And we were ponging the door, and the door wouldn't come down. She said, Caren, I'm tired. What do you expect me to do? I said, first off, I expect you to stop whining. I will not meet you for the next 3 weeks until you stop whining, and then we'll do what it is I sent you to do, because I do a lot of done-for-you work in my clients when I talk to them. And so I sent her all this stuff, and she said, I sat down. I was so upset with myself. And I sat down, and I said, okay, Coach told me I have enough money to do what it is I want to do. Why am I fighting her on it when it's going to give me the money I asked and I want? So she said, she sat with herself. She says, Caren, I do everything I don't like to do. I wrote everything down. I set the schedule. I told myself I can do it. And I got up and do it. I even hired somebody from my church, a retiree who says, yes, I'm doing nothing. I want an outlet. And the retiree showed up the first day. Now the retiree is with her for what? They're in week 5 already. And it's just crazy how she's like, I'm telling my employee that my coach, if I listened to my coach a year ago, I actually would have cleared my debt, that I was fighting her to, in a sense, like I'm fighting her to not clear the debt, even because I'm thinking about she was thinking about how much work it is. That's what it is. Like she was thinking about this pocket of work. And the pocket of work is just temporary. Eventually, we systemize it. And the workload, sort of not be as much anymore. So without any further ado, we're halfway. So let me get ahead and get this screen shared for you guys, because I'm excited to share it. Once I was doing mine. This is part of my planning too. So I'm giving you guys exactly part of what I do. Okay. Just not seeing mine. Because I'm still working on mine. It's not fully flushed out yet. So the first thing you might want to do is have the grand idea. Okay. You want to have the great, I mean, Sharon? Yes, I am Sharon. And
Mhm.
as individuals, you can go in and open up the whole thing so you can see it yourself. I'm going to open up our page too so I can just walk you guys through it. So you want to get the grand idea. So I put the BizChicks name in because I know that's what I was going to share. And you want to decide on dates and time when it's going to happen, right? Eventually. And
Mhm.
for this business, we're working on a business like a real pledge business that had happened. It's in the past, but had happened where I looked at the opening, what we're going to do, what's the stuff we're doing. That's what we're talking about here. The capital to have the business started
Mhm.
and the marketing and the sales. Oops, where am I going? And the marketing and the sales, right? And
Mhm.
all these things you want to have put down. So you finish all the big planning we talked about, and now you're actually putting down what's going to happen. We are looking for a sealer vendor. These are the things we were looking for. So all this is research going on to find out all this stuff before we get started. So I'm going to go back down, get back to the top because I really want to go across. So
Okay.
across, I want to write what's going to happen, what's the results that happen from what we talked about to the big idea, and how
Mhm.
we're going to reward the business for what we have done. You really want to
Oh.
keep that at the top of mind. How are we rewarding ourselves? This whole week I did research. I got my capital together. Like, what am I doing? Am I having a glass of water, a glass of wine, whatever it is? Am I going to just chat with a friend, go to the movie, something that I have actually accomplished some things? Because when you don't, you start forgetting that you have accomplished it. The other rewards could be in your office or no matter where you are, you got to note to yourself that you can look back upon when your head start telling you you didn't accomplish anything to get this business going. There are the
Mhm.
rewards. And then, we had sub products that we want to think about and we write them down and we want to do the same thing for that once we get that happening. And that's on your Excel spreadsheet. That's where I'm showing you from. You can put it anywhere. Then we get over to sheet two. And sheet two is where we break everything down. We break down all the steps. The main product was planting chips, the best quality planting we're looking at the best quality oil to fry it because there's oils that is not as good as certain
Mhm.
oils when you're doing that. So whatever your product was. So this is product based. So I'm just walking you through that. We wanted to get the best packaging. So we're testing out to see how long it's keeping the chips and that sort of thing and what's working right. We buy small amount and we did like a little testing batch where we invite a couple of friends, had them test the planning chips, sell some of them to them, see how they react to the price point, and just basically talk about it. And then we did the same thing with the sub product, find moms, get them to sample for their babies because planting flour was you could make porridge with it. So I went through this whole processes and you write the progress report. You really want to write it on good or bad. You want to write good, bad, and what you can improve upon in the
Mhm.
progress report. You really want to see this. Now, this is the part will get me excited because, of course, I talk about money. So, this part, tell me if I'm going too fast, Terry.
No, it's fine.
Okay. All
I'm
right.
following you.
Okay,
Mhm.
good. So, this is the part now where we're going to talk about money because business is to make money.
Okay.
And so we're going to talk about the test week. We just did the 12 packs, which we sold for $12. Um, the 140 is the big. So let me give you what's going on at the top so you can see. We're going to talk about how many clients or product you need. We're doing a product base. I'm going to do client base one day to explain to you, but this is a product base. So revenue generated, transaction costs, expenses and affiliate. That's mostly the affiliate for the product base, but it could be service based, sorry, but it could be product based too. And so this was our capital and whatever taxes. And and everybody does differently. So you can share if you want. When I was younger, I'm not going to sit here and say I do tithes and savings. I did do savings, but instead of tithes, I had tend to feed the homeless, help mothers with their
Mhm.
children.
Sure.
So that's where I tied it in those
Mhm.
days. No, I actually tied. And you want to know where's your business profit? What's your monthly salary? The month you're in, then we'll get over here and we write notes about what happened and was it successful, and you talk about what happened, and then you get to calculate your yearly salary off of the process of going through all of these. So
Mm.
for us, was the 12 pack, it wasn't profitable, and that's fine because it's just testing we're going through. But we quickly realized that if we did this on this basis, this is the money we could make to start off. We can start off with $1,200. Expenses was $560. That's the labor and material costs. The taxes $96. Tides and saving $108.80, which means it's 54.40 per savings and tiding. So we tide in gross versus net when everything come out. And same with the saving. And this is what we're paying ourselves. And this is going back into the business for emergencies, for if we needed to double buy over time because it would make expense go down. And so we want to have this just sitting here in the bank doing whatever it's doing. And, once it's built up, of course, we'll invest it. But initially, we just want to have it in the bank for cushion. That's what we're doing. And then we're looking at getting further afield, doing more. We can double up. This was the sub department where the planting flower that was doing the 700. Expense was pretty low for that. And we go through the whole processes. Now, this gets me real excited.
I can tell.
I hope it does you for the replayers to see that when you have it in front of you, understanding where the money you make the money and where it goes, and then that's on paper, and then you sit with the actual money and you put it where you say you're going to put it. Don't spend a dime until you do so. Don't worry with little George or husband or nobody who's asking for $1. Sorry. You can give them $1 from elsewhere, but not from the business. Because if you do, you can't see it through cost or failure. This was success I'm showing, but if it was failing, then you have to see where that's happening. And the reason I have notes in there is because I want you to see that you can make notes next to it, so you can really go back and see what you talked about, what had happened, what you can improve upon, and all these sorts of things. When I started out, I used to buy plant in those days. I think it was 25 or 50 cents a pound, can't remember, but it was pretty cheap. But once I was able to buy 2 bunches and 4 bunches at a time, if it was 50 cents, my cost went down to like 15 cents a pound, And so that business profit helps you to go there and do that. I also had to talk to myself how many planting I could buy for the space of time I want to fry it so that it doesn't get ripe on me because I'm living in a hot country. And all these notes are deciding me. Mind you, I didn't have Excel and those things. Mine was in an exercise book. You guys call it a notebook. But this was just written in a notebook so that I can go back and see. This is why the first page, I'm showing you how to reward yourself, celebrate, understand. That is to drive you into, if your numbers is not as great as you want them to be, you're not going in panicking because you've really understood that you started this business and it's going to thrive. If you're going in upset, angry, and not seeing results in what you have done, even though it wasn't financially to start, you're not going in with a positive attitude. That's key. That's really key to get to your business in a positive attitude. And when you're planning, I want you to plan this business excitedly, like see what could happen. And that's why give yourself the time to plan so far ahead. I mean, can you imagine we're giving ourselves, in this scenario that I'm creating here, a 14-month planning zone versus to see things carry out versus 12 months where you feel like close in, because all the stuff that I'm doing. So for the last 3 weeks, as I teach you, I myself is going through the processes. So the 1st of November, up there somewhere, my schedule is up already because I have tested, I've written it down, then spend the hours and the time testing what I say I could do. Watch my shortfall, see what happened, what was the family demand, what changed with according to what I have planned, how I cater to what I had planned, and then I'm able to go write and type up my schedule. So it's up in my office on the whiteboard. And if anything happened, I can go in because it's on a computer, rearrange it, and then print it off again. But in the kitchen, on the fridge, it also sits there. So Mom, well, you could see on Thursday, Mom couldn't do that because you could see her work time. So I won't be able to do this. And if it's anytime after 3:15, then we could talk about it. But you'd have to get up very early in the morning to catch Mom, or you'd have to really be, it has to be so small so that during Mom's lunch break, she could do it. The most she can do is talk with you. Like she's not doing anything.
Okay.
Like everything is set in there, right? So finish at 3:15, but I close off at 3. So at 3:15, I could literally take a breath, drink some water, just go over in my head my accomplishment, why I didn't get this stuff done, just for my own self observation. My granddaughter's at school now. Every other week I have her. So every other week I pick her up and drop her off. So at 3:15 I get myself dressed and I'm ready to go pick her up. And
Yes.
we got a park, so I can do like a 2 or 3 laps of walk around and then pick her up. And then
Mhm.
back home and ready to prep for
So
dinner
can
time and stuff.
so you can reward yourself by taking a walk, which
Mm-hmm.
benefits your health,
Mm-hmm.
gives you some vitamin D, restores, regenerates you, and then go have the satisfaction of greeting your granddaughter.
Yeah, and she's happy to see me. I'm happy to see her. I'm not feeling rushed that I got something to come back and do.
Decompressed from the
Yeah,
business.
yeah, and she loves to sing, so we're singing from the school down the hill. She's into making up her own words. I'm like, I can't believe this child is doing exactly what I do, and we make up songs. We're like, it's like so funny. This morning we were going, and she's like, "Grandma, are we going up the hill? Up the hill we go." Up. It was too funny. But I'm
Oh,
okay to do that because you've set yourself up for these things. Listen, I know when you're starting out, it feel like a lot, but I promise you, when you break it down, you start
mhm.
seeing breathing room in your day. Your day don't feel so combusted. And yes, everybody business is different. And I know every business brings its own pressures. I get it. Trust me, I get it. I've been in the service business, product business, all sorts of businesses, and I know it. But one thing I can tell you, when you start realizing that you are in control of the business you start,
Mhm.
you can fix it to suit yourself. When I had all my daycare, I had daycare teachers. I used to get some kids from agency, and when we meet, they would complain. And I asked her, I said, why are you in the business? Like I literally said to her, I said, why are you in the business? She says, well, I love kids. I says, well, it doesn't sound like it. like you can't be complaining about the kids constantly if you love them because they're gonna feel it. And the other
Yes.
thing she was complaining about that she didn't have full to capacity. And she said, Karen, are you filled? I said, I'm filled with a waiting list. Like
Mhm.
I can't take anybody
You
until I
know,
get an assistant.
one of the most important things that you cannot plan for is a good attitude.
You gotta just
It's you either have it or you don't.
oh you know
I mean,
or
nobody
you
wants to do business with grumpy people.
right or work towards it. My sister and I was talking about this. She said she went to 2 stores and she was so sad because the store she went to, somebody she really wanted to patronize, I guess is black like us, and she said she went to the other store and the Brazilian girl was so happy and excited to see her. All she wanted was a drink. She said the lady had so much attitude. She said, is all that you want? That's all you want to buy, a drink? And my sister was thinking, she said, I was just thirsty. Like I didn't eat. I ate at home. I didn't want any food. She said, meanwhile, she said she was so nasty about it that she walked away. And the lady, I guess the Brazilian lady called her. She says, what do you want? She said, oh, I want a drink. I guess you're not selling drink if you're not buying food. And the woman said, well, what nonsense is that? You buy what you want. I'm not holding you hostage. If you want a drink, then I'll just sell you a drink. So my sister went and get the drink. He said, she came on, she's thinking to herself, this is just so silly. It's a sale. It's a
That
sale.
is an
It's
opportunity
a
to
sale.
promote a future sale.
Yeah.
Okay, you didn't buy anything today, but you may think about me tomorrow.
My sister's an entertainer. So anytime she's going there now, she says, I feel, but every time I go, I just want to go buy the Brazilian girl because it didn't matter if I bought a pack of chips. She's like, how you do it today, Lisa? Oh my God, a long time I haven't seen you. And she's busy chatting her up. She goes, I left that place buying chips, drink, and something else for my friend because
And you take people with you.
exactly. Because she's telling me, which means she's telling everybody at home. Have you been to
Mhm.
that Brazilian girl store? She's talking about it. That's what she's doing.
Word of mouth.
She is gonna send people there because she's a little chatterbox. And so you got to see your business this way. You got to get in there and be happy for the idea that you
Mhm.
birthed it. If you're happy for this idea, you want to plan it out. If you haven't started business yet, this is a good opportunity to plan this stuff out. Take the time you need. Even if you weren't with us for the last couple of weeks, take the time. Spend time just sitting there, gathering your thoughts, go
Mhm.
back and listen to the replays and just follow along. Today, I was excited to show you this specific business about how, and that business seems so small and nothingness. And I tell you, we quickly get to a 2 to 3 thousand a week business from, because it was planned out, because I
Mhm.
was paying attention, because I was learning what I didn't know. And I put it in my group. If you guys are in my group, check it out. I put it in my group. One of the best gifts, because you got to see, you get gifts when you're doing great stuff. One of the best gifts I ever gotten in my life. I got a lot of gifts. One of the best gifts my eldest son godmother gave me is, I always say, this is my $1 million gift. You understand? It's a slicer. My son is 37 years old. The slicer is older than him. It's been passed down generations. The
Mhm.
blade, this is a God work. The blade has never gotten dull.
Wow. That's a testimony right there.
The blade has never got, I'm using it anytime I have a party or doing something for a friend. Anybody like my plantain chips? I'll plant, slice plantain chip, potato chips, anything on it. It has never gotten dull. And when Noelma presented to me, she said, Karen, you're worthy of it. She came and saw me slicing with a knife. I didn't have a slicer. And I was doing this business. And she said, I've got something for you. I'm going to make your life a little easier. But you see, because I was doing, right? She came to
Yes.
see her godson and she said, I'm going to make life easy for you. I said, okay. I didn't expect, I tell you, it was 7:30 or 8 in the night. Her husband came back with the bag. And he
Mhm.
said, Noel, I'm going to send this for you. And when I saw the thing, Terrell, I'm not going to lie to you. I was thinking to myself, a slicer?
What is this?
Because I didn't know it was a slicer, but she sent a little note inside. And she says, be careful with it. It's very sharp. And it was handed down from her great 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 grandmother or
Mhm.
somebody. This is old stuff. It's a cast iron. It's old. And
Serious.
yeah, and she said to me, she says, take care of it. I know you will, but take care of it. Yeah. It came to Canada with me.
We love to share heirlooms with people that we know are going to treasure them
Mhm.
and value them and use them.
Yes, yes, it's a gift that just kept on giving. I remember when I made my first 10,000 month, and I went to her and I said to her, I said, you know, la da di da. And I talked to her, I said, do you want it back? She goes, Karen, I am so happy to hear what that gift has given you. Are you
Mhm.
kidding me? It's yours. Are you kidding me? It's yours. It's going to help my godson. It's going to provide for you. It is yours. It is yours. Ah,
What a
what
blessing.
a moment. It is yours.
Wow.
It is yours. She'd own a little private school. My son went there for a couple of years. Really,
Mhm.
really sweet lady. Was my mom friend, but a really sweet, kind woman. So people are giving you gifts right now, guys. People are giving you their time. They're giving you ideas. People are giving you their gifts. Don't let it go to waste. This that I shared with you is probably going to be a PDF at some point that's going to be for sale. Take it, use it. It might feel simple, but
Mhm.
it's so much more than just what you're seeing. Because once you start using the system, because it is a system, once you start using the system, you get better and better at it. You watch your finances grow and you watch how you feel about yourself, what you say about yourself. The note area is where you really get to talk to you a lot about a lot of things that's happening. Okay, I went over my time a little bit today, but
Amazing. Coach, you always have such valuable information. We really appreciate you sharing all of these insights and secrets, even with us to success. So, guys, if you're looking for Coach Caren, you can find her in Profits in Daily
Mhm.
with Coach Caren Fern. She's on Facebook and she's on Instagram. You can find her and book an appointment and just have a conversation. Have a conversation with the coach. If you're looking to find the money in your business, you can contact us here at BizChicks. We can help you find the money in your business,
Mhm.
help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and take the hassle out of your hustle. So you can join our community at bizchicks.net. Also, if you desire, you can also text biz to 33777. You'll find the Heartbeat community there. We'd love for you to share what you do and how you do it so that we can help you run that profitable business and so other people in the community can support you. With that,
Yes.
We love you. We want you to know we'll be here tomorrow with Happy Healthy Habits with Robin Shimizu and friends. And we hope that you'll join us. In the
Yes.
meantime, remember, it's okay to make money in your business.
Yes, it
It
is.
really is it not, Coach? For some reason, some of us feel guilty when we make a profit.
Mhm.
Profit. That's why you're in business, to
Uh-huh.
make money. So it's
Yes.
okay to make money in your business. So go to the front of your own
Your
line.
own line. Yes.
Have a great day, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you again, Coach.
You're welcome.
Bye bye.